Stop. Before you reach for that snack this afternoon, the one you're probably planning to eat around 3 p.m., I need you to hear this. Because what you're about to put in your mouth might be quietly aging your brain, not someday. Right now, with every single bite. I know how that sounds. Dramatic. Maybe even a little unbelievable. That's exactly what most people thought too, until researchers at Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health got involved. They didn't study a handful of people. They tracked over 10,000 adults for up to a decade. Real lives, real brains. Measured again and again over years. And what they found is the kind of thing that should be on the news every single night, but somehow almost nobody is talking about it. Here's the part that stopped me cold. The people who ate the most of one specific category of food had brains that declined 28% faster than everyone else. 28%. Let that sink in. That's not a rounding error. That's the difference between remembering your grandchildren's names at 80 and struggling to. And the terrifying part? The foods doing the damage don't look dangerous at all. They're not hidden in some back alley junk. They're sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. They're in your desk drawer at work. They're the harmless little treat you grab when that 3 p.m. energy slump hits and your eyes start to glaze over. You know the feeling, that foggy, heavy wall that comes crashing down in the middle of the afternoon, where suddenly you can't focus, your eyelids feel like sandbags, and all you can think about is something sweet. That fog isn't random. That fog is a clue. Your brain is trying to tell you something, and almost everyone ignores it. Because here's what's really happening behind the scenes. That snack sends your blood sugar rocketing up, then crashing down minutes later. And scientists at the University of Liverpool just discovered in 2026 that these exact post-meal sugar spikes are linked to a significantly higher risk of Alzheimer's disease. Not the food sitting in your stomach. The spike. The invisible roller coaster happening inside your blood every single afternoon. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes I'm going to count down the 5 everyday snacks doing the most damage, ranked from bad to genuinely frightening. And number one? Number one is something I'd bet money you ate this week. Something marketed as healthy. Something you've been handing your kids without a second thought. But before we get to that, we have to start lower on the list. Because numbers 5 and 4 are the ones hiding in plain sight. The innocent ones that set the whole disaster in motion. And once you see how they work, you'll never look at your afternoon the same way again. Here's the good news I want you to hold on to. None of this is permanent. Your brain is far more resilient than you think. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to swap, what to keep, and the one simple change that can flatten that dangerous spike almost instantly. So ask yourself right now, what did you eat at 3 p.m. today? Hold that thought. You're going to need it. Let's start the countdown. Let's begin where the damage hides best, disguised as something good for you. Number 5, flavored yogurt. I know, you feel betrayed already. It's creamy, it says probiotic on the front, maybe even low fat. And that's exactly the trick. Because flip it over and read the back. That single little cup can hide more sugar than a candy bar. The researchers behind the Harvard-linked study actually named flavored yogurt directly as an ultra-processed food. Not chips, not soda, yogurt. Here's the simple science. When sugar floods in with almost nothing to slow it down, no real fat, no fiber, no protein to speak of, it hits your bloodstream like a wave. Your blood sugar shoots up. Your body panics and dumps insulin to clean up the mess. And then comes the crash. That heavy, foggy, irritable feeling 20 minutes later, that's the crash. That's your brain running on fumes. Picture the version of this we've all lived. It's 3 p.m. You skipped a real lunch, so you grab a healthy fruit yogurt at your desk, feeling pretty good about yourself. For 10 glorious minutes, you're sharp. Then the wall hits. You read the same email 3 times. You can't think. So what do you reach for next? More sugar. And the cycle starts again. Spike, crash, day after day, year after year. That repetition is what wears the brain down over time. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Switch to plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt and add your own fruit or a handful of nuts. Same creamy snack. But now you've got protein and fat acting like brakes on that sugar wave. The spike flattens. The crash disappears. Your afternoon stays clear. Got it? Good. Because number 4 is even sneakier. And it's probably in your bag right now. Number 4. Pretzels, crackers, and baked snacks. This one fools smart people constantly. Why? Because it's not sweet. There's no sugar guilt. It feels light, crunchy, almost virtuous. At least it's not chips. But here's what nobody tells you. Refined flour behaves almost exactly like sugar once it hits your body. Those pretzels turn into glucose so fast, your blood sugar barely knows the difference. And it gets worse. Because there's no fat or fiber to slow them down, refined carb snacks can spike you even harder than the sweet stuff. You eat a handful, then another. The bag's half gone, and you're somehow hungrier than when you started. That's not weakness. That's the spike and crash hijacking your hunger signals. Now stack that up over a lifetime. Remember those Harvard-linked findings. The more ultra-processed food in your diet, the faster your brain ages. And a separate study using brain scans from the Framingham Heart Project found that higher blood sugar was linked to real, measurable changes in brain structure, even in healthy adults in their 40s. Their 40s. This isn't an old person problem. It's building quietly right now in people who feel totally fine. The fix? Pair the crunch with something real. Crackers with cheese, pretzels with hummus, veggies with peanut butter. The moment you add protein, fat, or fiber, you've changed the entire chemical story happening in your blood. So that's 5 and 4, the innocent ones that start the avalanche. But we're just warming up. Because number 3 is where this stops being about energy and foggy afternoons, and starts being about long-term damage you can actually see on a brain scan. And number two is one most people eat every single morning, and never suspect. Now things get serious. Because the next 2 aren't just stealing your afternoon. They're rewriting your future. Number 3, the sweet afternoon drink. The iced coffee with the caramel drizzle. The energy drink. The soda you tell yourself is just a little treat. This is the 3 p.m. reach for most people on Earth, and it's the purest form of the spike there is. Think about it. There's no chewing, no fat, no fiber, no protein, nothing standing between that liquid sugar and your bloodstream. It's an injection. Within minutes, your blood sugar isn't climbing, it's launching. And the higher it launches, the harder the crash that follows. That's why you feel amazing for 15 minutes, then worse than before you drank it. And here's where the numbers stop being comfortable. Researchers studying over 30,000 adults found that for every 10% increase in ultra-processed food and drink in someone's diet, their risk of cognitive impairment rose by 16%. 16%! From a swap most people make without thinking. Now ask yourself, how much of the average diet is ultra-processed? In the United States, it's more than half of everything people eat. More than half. Let that land. We are, on average, more than 50% fueling our brains with the exact stuff the science keeps tying to faster decline. Picture someone, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you love, who's had that afternoon soda every day for 20 years. They feel fine. They'd pass any checkup. But underneath, that daily spike has been running like a slow drip on stone. You don't see stone wear down day to day. You see it after 20 years. The brain is no different. The fix here is the easiest on the whole list and the most powerful. Drink water, or unsweetened tea, or black coffee. If you need the ritual, keep the ritual. Just kill the sugar. 1 swap. 0 spike. Now brace yourself. Because number 2 is the one that makes people genuinely angry when they find out. Because they've been tricked their entire lives. Number 2, the granola bar and the breakfast cereal. Yes, the thing marketed as the healthiest start to your day. The thing with the smiling sun on the box, the words whole grain and natural stamped across the front. The thing parents hand their children every single morning, believing they're doing something good. Here's the brutal truth. Most cereals and granola bars are refined carbs and sugar wearing a health costume. They spike you just as hard as candy, except you eat them first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, which makes the spike even bigger. So your brain starts the day on the roller coaster. And it never fully recovers before the 3 p.m. slump finishes the job. This is why the timing matters so much. It's not just one bad snack. It's a pattern. Morning spike, afternoon spike, repeat. And remember what the 2026 Liverpool research showed. It's these repeated post-meal blood sugar spikes, specifically that are linked to higher Alzheimer's risk. Not one bad day, the pattern. The fix? Start your day with protein and fat, eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts, even last night's leftovers. Anything that doesn't spike you out of the gate sets your blood sugar up to stay steady for hours. So that's 3 and 2, the drink and the disguise. But none of that compares to number 1. Because number 1 isn't just spiking your blood sugar, it's doing something to your brain cells directly. And almost everyone eats it, here it is. The number 1 snack aging your brain. And I need you to really hear this one. Number 1, the packaged muffin, pastry, and snack cake. The blueberry muffin you grab with your coffee. The bran muffin you pick because bran sounds healthy. The individually wrapped cake, the cream-filled roll, the soft cookie in the bright little package. This is the snack that does the most damage, and the reason why is genuinely disturbing. Because this one attacks your brain in not one, but three ways at once. First, the spike. A packaged muffin can hold more sugar and refined flour than almost anything else on this list. It's a sugar bomb wrapped in the word bakery. So you get the biggest spike, the hardest crash, the deepest fog. You already understand that part now. But here's the second blow. And this is where it stops being about energy. These foods aren't just sugar. They're ultra-processed to the core. Emulsifiers, preservatives, stabilizers, chemicals with names you can't pronounce, designed to keep a muffin fresh on a shelf for weeks. Think about that. Something that stays soft for a month is not food your brain was built to run on. And the third blow is the one that made me put down my coffee. The scientists behind that Harvard-linked research pointed to something hiding in the packaging itself, a chemical called bisphenol A, or BPA. And here's their actual concern. In plain terms, experimental studies suggest BPA may increase DNA damage in brain cells and impair how those cells function. DNA damage. In your brain cells. Not a foggy afternoon. Damage at the level of the cell itself. So now picture the full weight of it. The people in that study who ate the most of these ultra-processed foods didn't just feel worse. Their brains declined 28% faster than everyone else. And the Framingham brain scans showed higher blood sugar, leaving visible marks on brain structure in people in their 40s. Let me make this real for a second. Imagine someone who grabs a muffin with their coffee every single morning. For 30 years. They never think twice. It's just breakfast. They feel fine the whole time. Then one day, in their 60s, the names start slipping. The car keys end up in the freezer. The grandkids' faces are there, but the names aren't. And nobody, not them, not their family, ever connects it back to that small, soft, innocent-looking muffin. Because the damage never announced itself. It just accumulated, quietly, one ordinary morning at a time. That's what makes this so frightening. There's no alarm, no pain, no moment where your body screams, stop. The decline is silent, and by the time you notice, decades of spikes have already done their work. So here's the behavior change, and please actually do this one. Treat the packaged muffin and snack cake as exactly what it is. A rare dessert, not a daily food, not a breakfast, not a healthy choice. When you want something sweet, choose it on purpose occasionally, and eat it after a real meal with protein and fat. So even then, the spike is blunted. Because your brain is not a machine that wears out on a fixed timer. It responds to what you feed it. Every single day is a vote. And the foods you've been told are harmless have been quietly voting against you. But here's the part I've been waiting to tell you. The part that changes everything. You can stop the damage. Starting with your very next snack. Take a breath. Because everything I just told you is also the best news you'll hear all week. Here's why. Every single one of these snacks does its damage through the same mechanism. The blood sugar spike and crash. 5 different foods. 1 villain. And that means you don't need 5 different solutions. You need one principle. Master it and the whole problem collapses. Let's recap fast, so it locks in. Number 5, flavored yogurt. The sugar bomb in a health costume. Number 4, pretzels and crackers. Refined flour that acts like sugar. Number 3, the sweet afternoon drink. Pure liquid spike with nothing to slow it. Number 2, granola bars and cereal. The morning roller coaster that sets up your whole day. And number 1, the packaged muffin and snack cake. The triple threat of sugar, ultra-processing, and chemicals that may reach your brain cells directly. 5 snacks. 1 enemy, the spike. So here's the single principle that beats all of them. And it's so simple, you'll wonder why nobody taught you sooner. Never eat a carb naked. Always pair it with protein, fat, or fiber. That's it. Those 3 are the brakes. They slow the sugar wave so it rises gently instead of launching. The muffin becomes a muffin after eggs. The crackers get cheese. The yogurt gets nuts. Same foods, completely different effect inside your blood. And there's one bonus move that's almost magic. A 10-minute walk after you eat. Just 10 minutes. Your muscles pull the sugar out of your blood before it can spike, and the afternoon fog never even shows up. Walk after meals, and you flatten the curve without giving up a thing. Now hear this clearly because it matters most. Your brain is not sentenced. It is not too late. The research that scared you is the same research that frees you, because it shows the brain responds to what you feed it starting now. Not in a year, not after some perfect cleanse. Your very next snack is a vote, and you get to cast it differently the moment this video ends. You don't have to be perfect. You never did. You just have to stop feeding your brain the same spike day after day for decades. Trade the roller coaster for a steady line. That's the whole game. So here's what I want you to do right now, before you forget. Go look at whatever you were planning to eat at 3 p.m. today, the snack I asked you about at the very beginning. Look at it honestly. Is it on this list? If it is, you don't have to throw it out. Just add a break to it. Protein, fat, or fiber. That one small change, repeated, is how you protect the brain that has to last you the rest of your life. And do me one favor. In the comments, tell me, what's your 3 p.m. snack? Be honest. I read these, and I want to see how many of you just realized the healthy thing in your bag is on this list. Drop it below, and if someone replies with a better swap, you might just save each other's memory years from now. If this opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe, because the things hiding in healthy food is exactly what this channel exists to expose. Your brain is the one thing you can never replace. Let's protect it together. I'll see you in the next one. Now go fix that snack.